So you guys on Twitter were like, you should do some Q&A videos. And I was like, cool. So I already did one. So I'm going to do another, but I'm going to have a guest with me this time around. And it's Steve Shives. I'm going to link his channel below.
Hi.
He has an awesome channel with lots of different kinds of content. He's going to help me answer some of these questions that I asked for on Facebook. First question comes from Matt Kovac. Would you go all plastic surgery crazy like Jenner has if you had the money? No.
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 No. No. If you didn't know the answer to the question I'm asking, no. Matt Obidia. Alright, I screwed that up. You're gonna have to live with it. Is the gay agenda gonna make Christianity illegal? I really hope soon. I can't really stand that Christianity is legal. Can you?
No, we really want to make it illegal.
We do.
I think isn't it in the 2016 Democratic platform?
It is. I mean,
it's a plank of.
It has nothing to do with equal rights. It's everything to do with making Christianity.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's all about taking something away from people. We see how much people enjoy Christianity, so we just want to take it away.
Isabella Grace Hart. Not really a question, but something you might be able to explain better than I did in my video. Explain the difference between transgender and transsexual. The difference is time. Transsexual is an outdated term that essentially means the same thing. I would say that transgender is actually more accurate, while transsexual doesn't take into account other aspects of the transgender experience. And Doug Wright asks, does this napkin smell like chloroform?
Yes. Best pickup line ever, by the way. Works every time.
If you're Bill Cosby.
No! Does this napkin smell like chloroform to you?
Jello. Alright.
It was just a bench drill. I never gave the girls any Quaaludes.
She asked for them.
She wanted to take the Quaaludes.
Scott Meyer asks, has anyone ever been even as decided to use even go want to look more like? Obviously. I mean, I think because before floors and cabinets, we had dog food cheeseburgers.
Indubitably. It sounds like you took the Quaaludes I meant to have for the girls.
Scott. Devin Clyde asks, I know a lot of atheists, myself included, are huge supporters of the LGBT community, but the T seems left out way too often. Any ideas on why that is? It does get frustrating sometimes. The T is often left out because we've been focusing so much on marriage equality for the LGB portion of that acronym. We actually asked this question, or at least had a version of this question, at the Secular Student Alliance Conference on an LGBT panel. T issues, I think, can now come to the forefront a little bit more. I think they were pushed aside because it was like, we were so concerned about marriage equality.
I think I would agree with that. I mean, for whatever reason, we don't seem as a culture to be very good at multitasking when it comes to, you know, civil rights movements.
Like, one civil right at a time.
Yeah, which is weird because you could group them all under one umbrella and just say, let's just have equality and fairness and not have discrimination on, you know, as Richard Dawkins has said, on bases that don't merit discrimination.
Crazy.
But we do it one group at a time. It's very inefficient.
James Bailey asks, what is your favorite dinosaur? Pat Robertson.
Oh! I'm gonna say an actual dinosaur.
Oh.
And it's gonna be even worse because it's like, because all my favorites are just the most boring vanilla choices. It's probably the T-Rex. People ask me on my videos, like, what's your favorite such and such? And I never have an interesting answer.
Sometimes you do.
I guess. What's your favorite Billy Joel song? Piano Man.
What's your favorite baseball team? Hagerstown Suns.
Because I want to show people how proud I am to be from Hagerstown.
Chrissy Powers asks, If there was a future medical technology that allowed you to carry a pregnancy, would you do it? I might. I actually probably would, to be honest, because I think that's kind of a beautiful part of being a woman. And you're just not going to answer that
Fuck
question.
no, I wouldn't.
Okay. Jim Stryker asks, if you went to a clothing optional resort, would you be comfortable enough with yourself to be nude? No.
Me neither.
Kirk Dortch asks, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Also, why is it, in your opinion, that some of the older religious population seems to be acting more and more crazy as more atheists are emerging? To answer your first question, a lot. It's a long way from an imaginary place. Also, as far as my opinion about religious people, I mean, I don't know that religious people are necessarily crazier than other religious people, just on the whole. I think it's a generalization. However, to actually answer your question and not dodge it by pointing out obvious facts, I happen to think that if it was true, that the reason would be kind of how old people are about just about anything. It's change and they don't like it.
Yeah, and it's reactionaryism. It's, you know, something is different and some people just can't handle that.
Back in my day, Christianity was good enough for me, it's good enough for you too.
Exactly.
Angelus Crux asks, do you want to have kids someday? The answer to a previous question is, if there was a medical treatment for me to have a kid, would I? The answer is yes. But since I can't do that, no, I don't want someone else's brat. Absolutely not. No.
I don't either.
Nope. Brian Donahoe took advantage and asked 2 questions. Any tips for an atheist whose family keeps trying to save them? Or save in general, I guess. And 2, are you a fan of Douglas Adams?
The only time it would become a problem for me is if it turns into something where they're talking about that every time you see them. If it's every once in a while, I think you can, okay, let's have a conversation, you know, let's have an argument, that can be fun. But if it's like, oh Christ, every time we talk, it's the Jesus thing, then you have to either come to an understanding with them and say, look, can we just not talk about this anymore? Or just avoid them.
And are you a fan of Douglas Adams? I have the shame of not really being into his work. Not for lack of, like, let me put it this way. I just haven't had a lot of experience with it.
I am not, like, super well read on him. I've never read any of his books, but I do have the box set of the original BBC TV version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I love that.
Christian Ferris asks, when Freddie McFraudster was suing you, how stressful was that, and does winning really heal all wounds? It wasn't stressful, it was really funny, and winning just feels good. Didn't heal anything because there were no wounds to heal. I don't know what to tell you. Dave Chervis asks, how is Babby formed? I don't know what a Babby is, so... How is Babby formed? There's your answer, Dave.
That's an awesome question.
Nathan Towns asks, as a lifelong atheist, what made you decide to go into the atheist movement as a career? I find a lot of people who are most active in the atheist movement are the ones who deconverted. Obviously, not a steadfast rule and not a judgment in any way, just a curiosity on my part. I decided to get into the atheist movement because it's fun and I want to see the world grow with science instead of superstition.
That's a good reason.
I mean, you're kind of a professional atheist.
I guess I would be, yeah. I mean, I guess not all my YouTube stuff is atheist related, but yeah, I guess most of my audience is from the atheist stuff.
What made you want to do it?
You know what? At first it was that, like a lot of people who decide that they're atheists, in the first couple years you're just super opinionated about everything. And it's just like, I want to talk to people. I want to tell people what I think about things, you know?
Chris Elzinga asks, are you excited about coming to Kitchener this August? And that being said, have you been to Canada before? I am excited to go to Kitchener. I've never, it's about an hour or so southwestish from Toronto. And I'm speaking at the non-conference, or non-believers conference. whatever you guys call it in Canada. And I have been to Canada before, but only briefly and only to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, so I'm really excited to be there.
That counts, though.
It does. Nathan Grange asks, what's the most offensive question you've been asked in an AMA? I think Steve and I decided that one.
Because you did look it up.
Yeah.
She looked it up.
And the question was, do you think transgender people should expect society to accept them as the gender they say they are, regardless of whether they make an effort to pass that gender? Fuck you to whoever wrote that question. Seriously. With a rusty hammer wrapped in barbed wire, dipped in acid, shoved up your ass sideways, broken in half, taken out, and shoved down your throat. And if that's not enough, then I'll kick you in the balls too. Because I know it was a man. Fuck you. Happier questions. Duckling Glenn asks, if we came from monkeys, why are we still here? Well, the real answer to that question is that it's magic, and that God put us here for a purpose.
You know, if you think about it, we're the monkeys.
Last question comes from Noah Wilkins. If Apple made a car, would it have windows? Yes, cars have windows. And if you're asking if it would have a shitty operating system, the answer is still yes.
Ooh.
Says the Mac user. Okay, everyone, that's it. If you like this video, like it, give it a thumbs up, share it everywhere. My social media links will be in the description below. You can check out Steve's channel here. Click his face. I'm going to put an annotation here so you can click on his nose or his eyeball or his mouth. Look right here. And you can go check out his stuff. My favorite series of his, honestly, are an Atheist Read series where he reviews books from various stupid people who call themselves Christians. That don't, I honestly don't, like some of the books he reviews, it's really interesting to hear his commentary, but the authors themselves, I don't think really represent Christians. I've met Christians that are far smarter than most of the people you read.
Yeah, me too.
That being said, he has great commentary and like really tears it apart, and I love that. The other favorite of mine is his 5 Stupid Things videos and the Good News series, which deals with science. So go check that out and have a good day. Love you. If it's nighttime, good night. Sweet dreams. If it's the afternoon, go fucking eat lunch. Love you. Bye. I never gave the girls any Quaaludes.